Alright, so first things first with the van here. So you can see we have all our tools ready. Start building on it. 136 wheelbase, 2014 Ram Promaster. So we picked it up. It had one owner before this, which is nice. But there are some things that we have to do before we start building it out. As you can see, there are like areas with rust on the floor, and it's mostly on the floor. So it looks like it was just, some water that was settling right there. But there is some open metal, scratches that we're just gonna seal up too, just so the rust doesn't affect that in the future. And then there's one like big major, like not that big, but it is a rusty spot by the floor over there. So yeah, we're gonna get working on that, and I'm gonna show you guys progress as we get that done. I think this will help out a lot of people because we haven't seen any videos, or we have seen videos, but something that's just straightforward if the rust damage isn't too crazy. We're just gonna be using Rust-Oleum rust reformer, some clean metal primer after we use that, and then here are the two drill attachments that you could get at Home Depot or anywhere. That is going to help remove a lot of this little surface rust, as you can see all along there. So yeah, pretty simple setup, and hopefully this should be able to clear out a bunch of this rust and seal it so we don't have any problems in the future. After you open those attachments, as you can see, you could just put them right in there, and then that should be able to start scraping that off. You want to show them that? Just be careful of going too deep into the metal. So we just want to remove all the surface rust that we can. And there are some spots that get really deep like that. Luckily, all these spots don't matter because we're going to seal it off with that white primer, and then it's still going to be all your subfloor anyway, so nobody's really going to see it. Basically sanded down as much of the heavy rust as we could, and then I know we didn't put this in the intro of the video, so I'll just put a little text or something, but some really strong alcohol will clean up a lot of this surface level rust as well. So I know you can still see a bunch of stuff, and everywhere where we scratched was pretty like heavy rust, so we had to like scrape that away. And we're just using alcohol to wipe everything down. Hopefully have everything clean, the walls, everything. And then we'll use that Rust-Oleum rust sealant so that the bare metal doesn't start rusting. And then, yeah, we'll get back to you on that. There we go. Start spraying it on spots that were like heavily rusted. The alcohol, the really strong alcohol, took off a lot of like little surface rust. But at least this way, we just know that everything would be sealed off and the van's just gonna last, way longer. So we're gonna do the whole floor and then let this dry for 24 hours. We're back here after we sprayed this rust reformer everywhere. As you can see, a lot of places that we had to take off some rust from the ground, and then some places on the wall with exposed metal. We just wanted to make sure that everything was covered up, so in the future, like, rust doesn't start there after we already built out the van. And then we're actually going to put this clean metal primer back on. It's in white color, so this is going to be like a double layer, secure layer, to cover everything else, and then we should be good to go. So we'll update you when we do all of that and the floor as well. So it's been a few days, so we got a little dirty again, but after putting the Rust-Oleum and the white paint over it, we added the killmat. As you can see, we just have the killmat right there over the wheel well, over that. Sorry, it's already nighttime, but and then we added it up there as well, and in some places over there. We have a few more pieces that we're gonna do, and we don't have a roller, but we just have like a metal tumbler cup. Honestly, just something hard that you could roll it on the metal, and everything should be pretty good, as you can see, and it definitely helps with sound reduction. So next thing we're gonna do is also start cutting out foam pieces, 2-inch pieces to go between there. And yeah, we're gonna follow the Lewis the Van video, because that's like looks like the best and easiest way to do it so far. So yeah, we'll update you when we get that going. So this is like a normal amount of killmat that just came in a one box on Amazon that you could buy, and so far we have one wheel well covered right here, and then we put some mats right there. Horrible paint job right there, but whatever, nobody's gonna see that. And then we slice that up, put some back there, put some here as well, and then put more on this wall right here. In this panel, we left those spots open because we might put, you know, side vented windows for when we put our fan up here somewhere. But yeah, honestly, just driving immediately after putting these on definitely suppressed the sound a lot. So, you know, for all the videos and all the videos you see of people building out their vans, like, killmat is definitely worth it. So you guys should definitely do that. Before we get to the flooring, I just want to show you guys what we have. We basically bought this plywood from Home Depot. It's not like birch plywood, so we got it a little more like thicker. It's 1/2 inch, and should still work pretty nicely. And then we also got the foam board right here, the biggest foam board that they have, but at 1/2 inch is what we're doing to put between those little floor dips that come in the Promaster or in the Sprinter vans. And we have some Reflectix that we're going to tape together and, you know, lay it out in the back of the cargo van so that we could get a good shape. Then with that, we could trace it onto the wood, and then that'll make the outline of it way easier. After you cut 10 pieces 2 inches wide, that's gonna go basically all the way to the end. You're gonna have to just cut a few more pieces to finish it off. Then there's some wider pieces that go on like this area here, that heads all the way down there, and then this area here goes down there, and then you just finish these off over there depending on how far you could go. But so far that's the progress, and it's looking good. We're back here maybe like an hour later and have every single piece cut. So we just used one of those big foam boards, 1/2 inch at Home Depot. Those were like $12.
Yeah,
something like that.
4x8.
Yeah, 4x8, basically the same size as like the plywood, that huge piece. So just buy one of those, and you'll have enough to do the whole floor here. We haven't glued it down because we're gonna do the Reflectix first to get like the outline to put on the plywood. So, and then we kind of left these open right here because this is where the floor starts curving, so we'll figure that out. And then we have a bunch of leftover pieces, so if the wood's dipping there, we could just do that. Back here the next day, still working on this. So we laid out all the killmat. We shaped out the foam for every single you know, crevice that we're gonna put the foam in right there. And then now what we're gonna do is take the Reflectix and do a huge one-piece cutout following along the floor so that we could trace it onto the plywood. So that's what's next, and we're gonna get to that now. So we literally just bought one of the biggest Reflectix that you could buy at Home Depot. They're probably around like $48 each. And one roll, you know, roll it out. 136 Promaster is around 9.5 feet, or at least that's what we want.
Almost 10.
Almost 10, but we want from right there to basically that little lip that you can see right there, and then you roll it out same distance, and then do another roll as well. And then what we're going to do now is try to bring it all in and slowly go around and try to get as close to the edge as possible and cut it out so that we could have the layout for the floor. Just a little quick tip: as you bring it into the van, there's going to be a lot of excess piece, so you could just start kind of cutting it in areas that you know you're not going to need the floor. And what we're doing right now is taping to the flat wall right here, just so it kind of holds. And then we're also taping back there on the floor so that as we're cutting, it doesn't move around as much. So yeah. Alright, cool. So we took that Reflectix out of the van and we laid out the pieces of plywood on the floor. So now what we're going to do is trace it out, and then what you want to do, as you can see, this is like a little weird because the van curves right there, but what you want to do is use 2 pieces of plywood like lined vertically, and then the bottom one, that's the back of the van, horizontally. And then you want to bring the foil to the edge as close as you can, so when it's all said and done, you have your other piece that's like the left of the van or the inside of there. This crease right there isn't close to where you enter the van, and then that wood piece can be moving. You want that to the back, and then hopefully even the cabinets could kind of come up over that so that it just feels like one solid piece of flooring. Alright guys, so as you can see, we already cut that first piece and we laid it down. It's looking good. We got to do this piece and this piece, and then Taylor's about to cut one of those. So let's get that going. As you can see here, we cut that piece right there. Kind of curved in a little bit at the end right there, but we're going to make sure that the next piece aligns properly, and that's going to go here. So this is a really important piece that we're going to do next. So yeah, looking good. All right, so this is that first original piece that was going on right here. And of course, we cut it, but I kind of stayed outside the outline. So when we try to fit it in the van, the 2 pieces overlapped. So this is an example that, you just have to clean it up, make sure everything's right. And we're going to try to go put it back in and see, but yeah, you're going to have to keep going back and forth and make sure it aligns right. So second time we brought that other piece of wood we were just cutting, and there's still just a tiny little overlap right there. And then as you can see, the wood kind of aligns with the floor perfectly here, but then it kind of starts going a little bit in. So our solution is to mess with that cut right there so that it shifts a little bit in, and then hopefully that will work good. All right, and we're back with the last piece that's going to go in the back of the van, and it's looking really good. There's just some pieces that we had to redraw because it wasn't sitting in properly. So we're going to cut that over there. It's getting a little dark and late, but basically we have the third piece cut out right here, and we had to just keep cutting around these edges just to make it sit flush. There's like a little wider gap right there, but honestly we'll put like some sort of insulation or sealant just so that all that kind of closes off or whatever. We kind of made an open wide cut right there on accident, but should be fine. This will all be laying down flat at least, so we have that going. And then now what we're gonna do is probably tomorrow is just take out the wood and then clean the floor all up, then start putting the foam, the styrofoam down, and then the Reflectix, and then we'll finally put this over it to finish it off. Now we're back, and it's darker now, so sorry if it's grainier. The video's quality is a little low, but yeah, so now we're gonna be spraying that 3M spray adhesive to the back of the foam boards right here, and then spray it on the metal as well, and then just hold it down, let it dry, and they should be good to go there. I know other people have taken these out. We weren't able to get them out, so they lay flat with the foam board, so fuck it, just leave it in, and that should be good. So we'll update you guys on that when we're finished. All right, so we're back here, and we just finished spraying all the adhesive to the metal and putting every single foam piece into their respective spots. As you can see, we just kind of glued down a little separate one there, and then it sits flush. So honestly, I don't see the big deal in just keeping them there. And now we're laying back our Reflectix outline, and I think we're gonna spray insulation, or not insulation, we're gonna spray adhesive, and also try to maybe like tape in some edges. I don't know, so we're gonna do that now. And we just laid down the Reflectix layer over it and sprayed some adhesive. This is still kind of coming up a little bit, but we sprayed that, so it'll settle here soon. And then all we're gonna do is bring the wood pieces and just lay it flat, and it should all be looking good after that. So yeah, we have put in the pieces in there and everything fits nicely. We just walked on it and it's pretty quiet. I mean, you could if you maybe bounce a little or step heavy, obviously the Reflectix, but it's not like you're gonna be stepping on the whole thing. It's just where the area that's open. But yeah, everything looks good. So I'll get some more pictures tomorrow during the day. There's light, and yeah, this is awesome. It's been a minute, but we have the floor laid down. We started taping down where our bed's gonna go, and also the kitchen cabinets out there, and the height of the countertop, our shelves. We're just kind of visualizing where we want it, as well as this ceiling to countertop shelf area. That just helps create more space. And then this would be a bench area, and it's actually wide enough, as you can see here, to fit like a little toilet thing. I think you guys have seen these on Amazon right there, Camco ones. So this bench is gonna be just a little higher than the toilet right here, and then it's gonna be sealed off, waterproof, because then you could open the lid or take off the lid and convert it from a bench to a restroom, and then once it's bare, all open, you could have a shower there as well. So we're still figuring that out. But just a quick little update, we were able to actually remove these things literally just by hand. We left the floor ones down there, but I mean the wood's laying flat, so it doesn't matter. But I just removed that one. There's another one over there, and then there's like these two right here. So I think you guys saw that getting removed. But yeah,